Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, the video companion for AstroChiron.com. Hopefully it's welcome back at this point if you've been with the community since TikTok or Tumblr. As the 5th video in the Ascendant series, this one will focus on Leo, the 5th sign. He is a sign of self-expression and recreation. Leo is represented by its namesake, the lion. With its proud mane, loud roar, and rule of the savannah, Leo's haughty reputation certainly precedes him. Leo is a fire sign and a fixed sign, so their ties to the sun, a seemingly stationary ball of fire, is totally obvious. This also connects to their tendency to express themselves in any situation and in every situation. To begin, we'll start with Leo's expression through feminine features. They have a very structured, squared jaw paired with low cheekbones and flat faces. You can see that in Miranda and Alexa most prominently. They have small noses and nose bridges with pretty small nostrils. This is most apparent on all 4 of these women. All of them really do have small noses. These noses sit atop sculpted or full lips. They have leonine eyes. By that I mean their eyes have a very broad curve on the top and a smaller curve on the bottom. The way the arch goes looks very much like a lion's eye. As for eye color, they're very dark, no matter their hue. It gives them all a very mysterious vibe. These sit under thin, long eyebrows. As for the men, they share the same opaque eye color of their counterparts. These eyes are doe-shaped and are framed by very underwhelming eyebrows. I say underwhelming because I mean, like in Steph's case, they're barely there. And in the cases of the other guys, they're just very small. Their noses are cut pretty short and they're typically wide at the bottom as compared to their bridges. They have small ears that stick out from their heads. I'm married to a Leo rising. He also has the ears. They're not necessarily big, they just have that noticeable shape. Despite having no cheekbone prominence, they do have heavy smile lines on their faces. These are actually called nasolabial creases, by the way. This is a word I learned on The Sims 3. Finally, they have evenly sized and shaped lips that are usually framed by facial hair. They have these round faces that make them look super duper young. So as you can see, I think all of these men here have facial hair so they can give their face, especially their cheek area, some sort of shape. This video is brought to you by me. I am the astrologer behind AstroChiron.com, the one-stop shop for all astrological readings, articles, horoscopes, and art. I have a free ask feature that you can use for quick questions that I will respond to via blog post. Readings range from $25 to $200, whether you want 3 questions answered in detail, all the way to a thorough hour-long or more reading for me personally via phone or video chat, discussing your entire natal chart, the aspects within it, and each planet's placement. The first 20 subscribers to this channel will gain access to all 20 plus written and live readings at a 40% off discount. Again, that's astrochiron.com, ASTRO-CHIRON.com. Don't forget the hyphen and join our community today. As for their lives, they have a tendency toward musical performance even if it isn't their main career. They're very creatively explorative, going from songwriting to performing or even from acting to singing. They don't limit their art to one venue or one mode of expression. So for example, both Miranda and Jeanette had music careers while starring on iCarly. And then you can also look at Victoria, who is primarily known for being a songwriter, especially for Ariana Grande. She is finally being recognized as the performer that she has always been. Victoria is extremely creative in her songwriting ability as well as her use of samples and interpolations. She has quite an ear for music and her voice is amazing. I'll have to stand Miss Monet another time though. Drake has also ventured from acting as a character who raps to rapping as a career. Some people would say that he's rapping as a character, but that's a different video for a different YouTuber. They do fit society's definition of masculine, which is fitting since all fire signs are by definition masculine. This is not necessarily sex or gender driven though. In astrology, the outgoing, confident energy versus the introverted and tactical energy represents the dichotomy of the masculine versus the feminine respectively. So for example, in Jeanette's book, I read her book recently, it gave me the impression that despite having anxiety and a host of other issues in her upbringing, she always presented herself as being in control and very calm in the situation, even if she wasn't. This can also be seen in Steph's demeanor on the court as well as Drake's braggadocio when rapping. They're noted to be athletic, as Leo is a sign of fun and recreation, as well as competition. So Tyler is a huge skateboarding and biking enthusiast, while Nick is a big fan of basketball. And of course, we have Steph Curry, who is an awarded and adored basketball player with a very impressive three-pointer. He has amazing stats when it comes to those three-pointers. Was that the right terminology? I really don't know much about sports. Anyway, back to sports. Victoria is noted for dancing, her dancing ability. Additionally, Drake, while not noted for being a dancer or athlete himself, has made many allusions to admiring professional athletes, even equating his job as a rapper to their job as a professional baller. Finally, Leo is tied to the father, just as Cancer is tied to the mother. Saturn is also associated with the father a lot, but I tend to equate Saturn to your upbringing in general, authority, boundaries, and rules, all that. With Leo's tied to the sun, there's no wonder why these natives' fathers have such a huge impact on their lives. On one end of the spectrum, we have Jeanette, who described the man that raised her as uninterested in her at best and dismissive at worst. Long story short, he was not her biological father. Victoria has a very similar story, with her recently posting her father on social media expressing how distant their relationship is. On the other hand, you have Drake and Steph, both of whom idolize their fathers, publicly anyway. Dennis Graham's identity as a black man has had a major influence on Drake's breakthrough as a black American artist and his own identity as a biracial man, the status of which has come up a lot recently in the news. Finally, Steph Curry's father was also a professional basketball player. The two even faced off for some sort of NBA-sponsored event. I don't know what it was called. Again, I don't watch sports, at all. Alright, that is how you can try to spot every Leo Ascendant in your life. Honestly, walk along the street and find the biggest smile. I can guarantee you they're either a Gemini or a Leo Ascendant. I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, whether you're new here or you've been following me for a while on various social media. We're almost halfway through this series, and I, for one, am excited to get to some of you guys' ascendant signs. Who are y'all most excited for? Put it in the comments down there. Stay tuned for Virgo Ascendant, the end of the first half of the zodiac, and be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications to keep up with the community. In the meantime, you can visit AstroChiron.com for frequent updates, from horoscopes to articles to astrology news.